Okay, hang on a second here. All right. All right, so this was the last thing we did in class was the meta tag. Again, it's on page 342 in your book. And it's this guy right here. We did this with. Like I said, we can go through this step by step if that's going to help you. I just don't want to take all your time up doing some of this if there's other stuff to do. And then, so what's the web page look like right now? Like this, right? And again, this is the unit 6.1. I threw it in my unit 7.1 just to make sure everything looks okay. I click on everything, make sure it looks okay. I'm sorry? All right, let's do this. So then here we go. All right, homepage displays the phone number in the contact number area. Wouldn't it be handy if a person using a smartphone could click on the phone number, blah, blah, blah. So it tells you all this stuff. There's a lot of information here, right? So what you want to do, configure a hyperlink assigned to an ID named mobile. Remember I showed you last class that you just brought up the web page on my phone, and it says you could do the same thing now. If it's on Apollo, you should be able to bring it right up on your phone or your tablet or whatever. And you can play with it and test it. And that's what you're going to want to do. You can do that. You're going to want to do that for your own project too. You can do that and you can show people, hey, what do you think about this website, right? Realistically, does everybody have a phone in here? Is there anybody that doesn't have a phone? So still a couple of you that don't have phones. You FileZilla. You mean through FileZilla? Otherwise, it's apollo.gtc.edu. Yeah, you go to the, here. And let me stop this for a second. Go to another phone number directly. So they want you to do is you want to have the two numbers, and your one is for mobile, so it comes up as mobile. And then you want to code another one directly after the hyperlink. It says code a span element assigned to an ID named desktop. And you set it up with a desktop. So again, the idea is one mobile. All done? Okay. The idea is we really didn't get very far, so you really didn't miss much. One is for mobile, so if I have my phone, it shows up on my phone. And the other one is if I'm just on my desktop. So those are the things you have to take consideration of when you're developing the website. How are they looking at it? Are they looking at it from their desktop, or are they looking at it from a phone or a tablet? Because I don't know, again, if you notice, anytime you're on a website, if there's a phone number, typically you can tap it and it'll ask you, hey, do you want me to call, right? Or not call, which is really cool. It's nice. It shouldn't. Usually it should ask you. It shows it on there? Huh. Because usually I get a... Let's do this. All right, so we got the two links here. And you're going to do this on the index page. So here's a question for you. Then you look at the book. They're going to show me here. Oh, I made it too small. I screwed up. They're going to show you right here. See this? This is where the phone number is on your web page. So if I go to my browser, I run this in Chrome just to make sure to have. Here it is. Here's the phone number, right? So here's my phone number. Hang on, let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Too many things open. We want, instead of being static text, you want to enable it. Again, you want to make your website as dynamic as possible. So if someone sees a phone number, they don't have to do what? Otherwise, I have to do what? I have to sit there, tap it, and copy it, and then paste it into a phone or whatever the case may be, or remember it, which is ridiculous, right? So I want to change this phone to do that, right? Will it work? Let's try it. I don't know. So what do? How do we do that? Here's my phone number. I'm gonna go to the page where it's at. I'm on the page here. Where is it? It's right here. Okay. So what code do I add? So I'm gonna add something right there. Right? So let's try it. We're gonna put the phone number right there. We're gonna put a link and go A. ID is equal to mobile. Href. There's telephone. And then it'd be the same number. I'm just going to copy and paste this whole number, which is just a bogus number anyway. Like so. Bless you. And then they're going to put this phone number there again, like so. And then we're going to close off the tag. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this down here. All right. Let's just see what this looks like. All right. Again, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to refresh it. And I'll go back, and there you go. So there you go. So it shows up. I have a nice link there. Now I can also, I have it locally. I don't have it Apollo. But again, the nice test would be I would upload this to the server, and I'd pull it up on my phone, and I'd test it, and I'd see if it worked. I can also just click on it down here, right? What if I click on it? What happens? It's going to say pick an app. It doesn't know what to do with it really, right? Because it's mobile. So I'm going to say cancel. So let's do the next line, which is what? You're going to do the desktop piece, right? Now I'll do a desktop piece, and I'll do span ID is equal to desktop. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put the phone number there, and I'll close it up. Span, like so. Okay. I'm going to refresh this. It does. That's not what I wanted. Well, actually, it is. It's how it showed up because it left it that way. So what will happen is, but the thing is, it shows up exactly how they want me to. Okay. And then it says, the book even tells you, it says, don't worry about the two phone numbers that are showing up. So what we'll do is we'll use CSS to configure it, and so you won't see the both of them. But that's CSS that's going to do that. It even tells you that. Okay. And it's going to show, it configures the CSS, and it's going to show the appropriate number depending on how you're brought up. If you're brought up from a desktop or a mobile app, and we can play with it that way. Okay. So there's always little tricks that you can do. So for right now, you're like, oh, this doesn't look good. Right. That's just how it's supposed to be. Okay. Let me shrink this a little bit. We are on page 342. We just start from where we started before. Okay. So I just added these 2 lines of code right here. And I'm recording it in case. All right. So I'm going to go to my files. What did I do with those? Chapters, is that develop documents, chapter 6, Java Jam. Where's Java Jam? Unit 7. All right. So now I'm going to modify the menu page. I'm going to drag that into here. So here's my menu page. Let's look at my menu page. What does the menu page look like? There's my very exciting menu page, right? So I've got my header, I've got my menu on the left side, and I've got my content right there. So what do they want you to do? Gee, that's hard. So what do? Do you want the same viewport? So what do? Go to index. Guess what? Get the same tag. See this one we just did? Meta name viewport. Take this tag and just copy it. Copy that and put that in menu. I'm going to put it, guess what, in the same spot. Okay, now this isn't bad. We only have a couple pages, but can you imagine if you have hundreds and hundreds of pages? So there's other ways around that. We're not going to really get into that right now, but there's other ways around some of that too. I'm going to refresh this. It doesn't really tell you what's going on. Okay. So the same tag is there, that's there, that's there. All right. And that's it. Guess what? Task 4. Task 4, add the same thing. So for the menu, music page 343, we're going to take that same thing and we're going to do the music page. See how hard this is? It's like brain surgery. Music, drag it in here. Go to meta character set. Go below that, paste. There it is. So this line is on all 3 pages right here. This line, because depending on if you go to each page, it's going to adjust accordingly. Yes. Come on, you're doing so good. All right. Oh wait, I just started that. I didn't want to do that for a second. And we're live. Okay. All right, task 5, modify the desktop CSS. Open Java Jam CSS in a text editor. Remember, you have the telephone number. We got to fix a telephone number, right? So we're going to add this in here. So we're going to go into the desktop. So I got to get my file. Again, go to my files, Unit 7, and I'm going to find Java Jam CSS, and I'm going to drag it into Notepad++. All right. So there we go. All right. So remember, we all have the same files because I gave them to you. We all have the same file. This is Java Jam CSS. Okay. So what they want you to do is they want you to configure. Again, this is in the book too. It tells you. Configure the CSS for the phone number display as shown below. That's all you have to do for that. So how do you do that? Oops, I hate when I do that. Hang on, too much. There we go. There. Okay. Configure the CSS for the phone number display as shown below. So mobile display. So if it's mobile, display none or desktop display. So how do you do that? Okay. I'll record. So we can do that. You can. I'm not gonna cheat because you guys can't copy it like I can. So I'm gonna type it out too. So I'm gonna do mobile. Open curly. Display. None. So we're in the CSS. Java Jam CSS, and then I'm gonna do desktop. And then display is inline. So he's gonna show it. So let's look at this. So if you look at the code, again, this is on page 343 in your book. If you look at your code in index, I've got a mobile tag and I have a desktop tag. If I look at my code, you know what look what I did. We didn't even notice it. Look at, I have an ID here mobile, and I have an ID desktop. So if it's a mobile tag, it's not gonna display it there. If it's desktop, it's gonna do it in line. So it just depends on your environment. Okay, here's there's the code right there that we just did. Okay, again, that's on page 343 in your book. All right. So now let's see what it did. Did it do anything? Did it clean it up? There. But now the number's not blue. It's not there. But because it's not blue because you're on a desktop. Yes. If you want to test it, you can upload it to a website and you can pull it up on your phone or your tablet and you can see if it worked correctly. I think it can go back out. You can we can upload it to FileZilla. We can test it. I'm not going to do that at this moment, but that's how you test it. So that's the one trick. Record this again. Okay. So we're going to code a media query to select for tablet device. So here's one. They have you add the code here. We're in the tablet CSS. Okay, so we're in Java Jam CSS still. So I'm going back to Java Jam. Okay, and they're going to ask you to code this media only screen max width. It shows you. Okay, so it's going to have you do that. All right, and then we're going to do some styles also. All right, here's the deal. So at media. Again, it tells you if I start typing. See, it doesn't because we're creating it. Screen. Max width. 1024 pixels. Close that up. Open curly, close curly. All right. I'm going to save this. Wow,